Hi, this is Martin from Graphic Studio. I've been asked a few shows recently to show or to explain what the new Yervant templates are about. So that's what I'm going to do over the next few minutes. So the starting point is here in your trade area. So this is a standard trade area that you'll be all aware of. And then next to the Graphic Studio software, version 4.5.2, which we're very soon to be going up to the new exciting version 5 to deal with the new digital matted albums. And then next to it here is the Yervant plugin. So the Yervant plugin is a relationship that really we have with a photographer called Yervant, who's in Melbourne, Australia, who's classed as one of the top photographers in the world, and he works with his wife Annie in an incredible studio, very successful, and he's just really a very, very nice guy. He has his own piece of software for designing books, which is called Page Gallery. So recently we've talked to him, and over the last year we've taken the coding of his templates and brought them into our software for Graphic Studio customers. So it is really a big deal. That there's a huge amount, and there's some really exciting ones. So you just click on the icon there, and it brings us right down to Yervant's page. So this is where you can kind of download them from. You can see there's obviously a price here, which is a lot less than the page gallery, and also it's well worth the money for the amount of stuff you get. So you just kind of click on here and decide which way you're going to pay for them, and then it will begin the download. So once you kind of begin the download, the next thing is to install the patch. The patch actually looks like this. So you just double click on it and it'll install it. So let's just pull the software up now and see what that actually means to us. So I'm just it's just on another screen at the moment, so I'm going to kind of drag it across for us somewhere. Here it is. So if we go to the templates area in the software, and we go down to our template styles, so you're probably used to seeing Director, Studio, Design, etc., etc. Down towards the bottom now we've got this new one called Yervant. So the Yervant ones, once you've selected it, you can see over here it tells us that there's 696 new templates, just short of 700, which is an incredible amount of templates. And you can see that there's lots and lots of different ones, and they do all kinds of different things, some with special effects, some with desaturated already, applied to the template, etc. So this kind of gives us another problem. How do we search for the correct template? Well, if you know the template number that you're looking for, in this case I'm hovering over and it says it's 1174, I can type the number in here, which is a little search button, which I can do for image numbers as well. So I can just type the number, comma, the next one, press return, and it will bring up just those. But we've added a couple of versions ago to the templates area this little tiny pop-out menu here. And this was in mind with the Yervant templates, knowing that they'd be coming out in a future version. So what this does is if we click on this little pop-out menu here, it says tutti, which means all, single page or double page spread. So you can see that it has a number of images on the single page or double pages. So we've got here 4 images. So let's say, for example, we've been to a bride's place where she's getting ready, and we've shot the getting ready shots. Now I'm hoping that everybody's now shooting for the products, so meaning that if I go into the bride's getting ready, I'm going to shoot the details of the dress, maybe some detail on the back of the dress, the hair being done, the champagne flutes, the shoes crossed, and if you're shooting for the product, you know that you need to get, in this case, 4 images, and that's it, done. You're not going to overshoot. And then you move on to the next double page spread, which probably is the bride and the bridal party. So in this case it's 4 images that I'm looking for, so I'm going to select 4 images, and then it shows me the templates that are available. In this case there's 87 templates, so we've narrowed it down from nigh on 700 to 87, which is a lot more manageable. So this is the template I was looking for, so I'll simply drag it onto the screen, and away we go. That's it. Now we're going to grab some images. Now, unfortunately, these aren't getting ready images. This was a fashion shoot by Andrew Younger from Younger Photography in Plymouth, and he's kindly lent me them to be able to show you the software. So I'm just going to drag the images up onto the screen into the apertures, so into the template, and away we go. So it's as quick and easy as you can see. No problems at all. Once we've dragged them on the screen, we just simply maneuver the images behind the aperture until we're happy with them, like this. And of course I still have the facility to crop into an image if I like, with using the crop tool or the zoom tool at the top. And also, if I haven't got my verticals quite vertical, I can simply rotate the image by clicking this other button at the top next to the resize button. So I don't need to, as I used to in the past, go into Photoshop and recrop the image. So that's it. One page done. So I'm going to move on to the next page. So we go back to the Yervant templates. I'm going to go back to the massive selection that you saw. Just to give you some kind of idea of them, I'm just going to scroll down so you can see. Again, if you can't find the template you're looking for, or something close to it, I'd be amazed. So let's, in this case, go for 8 images. So Yervant, which we selected, we're going to go for double pages again, and let's go for 8 images. Because what I want to show you now actually is how editable the templates are. Because very much like the Graphic Studio standard templates, these are all editable as well. So let's drop some images in so we can see what we're doing. So I'm looking for a landscape image, so let's go maybe here. Doesn't really work, but for the purpose of what I'm showing you, it's going to be great. So then I'm going to just populate these other small kind of thumbnail images here, just by simply dragging and dropping the images in, and then I'll probably spend some time kind of making sure they're in the correct place, etc, etc. But just for the purposes of this, I'm dragging anything in that looks okay. Maybe one more. There we go. So as I've said, it's a template, but the template is editable. Now, what do I mean by that? So let's take, for example, this first image. It's the image that I need to use on this page. I've no other option. If that was the case, I simply come to this little padlock button, which is the same when we select any image, unlock the template, or unlock this element of the template, and just simply drag it up. It'll stretch the image, but then once it redraws it, you've got all the image in there. So I can then slightly move it around, and I'm happy with that. And also what I can do is kind of unlock any of these elements. I can move them around. You can see how quick our guides are kicking in, and you can see I can resize it, I can maneuver it, I can delete it, I can just press the backspace key and get rid of it. So the smart guides, again, you can see just trying to align everything up, and again I could make this quite a long image if I wanted to. And as you can see, it doesn't damage the aspect ratio of the image. And just by what happened there is I've just kind of double clicked on that image by accident, but what happens is it brings up a 1-to-1 if you wanted to check if the image was sharp, etc. So I'm just going to drag that girl's face up into the middle. So that doesn't really kind of work either, so I'm going to get rid of that as well. So you can see how editable this page is, but not only that, this background is editable. Now I can again press the unlock button here. I could move it over to this side if I wanted to change which side it was on, but actually I'm just going to get rid of it like this. I'm going to move this image down to the bottom, make it smaller, because I just want to show you something else in a second. And again, this image is editable and unlockable as well. I just want to show you how we make a kind of a background image that's kind of ghosted out a little bit. So I'm going to drag this image up onto the screen. Notice I'm not dropping it into a template. I'm going to make it a double page spread. And this is the same with any template, not just the Yervant templates. So there we go. I'm going to desaturate it and take some opacity out. So opacity first, and then I'm going to make it a black and white. So we've made it a black and white. I'm just going to unlock this, move it kind of slightly up here. So I'm just trying to show you really that how editable this template is. So maybe something like that. I know it's not a great page, but just for the sake of the demonstration, it's perfect. So I'm going to go back to templates. We have Yervant template selected at the moment, but if I click on the drop down menu and go down to the personal ones at the bottom, and you can see that I've got quite a few personal ones here. So what I'm going to do is, once I've clicked on the personal tab, next to the templates button here, you get this little tiny plus button, and this allows me to add this as a new template. So I've just clicked it, it went onto my other screen, but I've just brought it across so you can see it, and I'm just going to give it a name. Obviously you would name it whatever you want. So there we go, and press OK. And what happens now, it appears down here, Yervant demo. So in a week, a year, a month's time, I can come back, I can add a new page, I can bring up that template. But here's a really cool thing. All the changes we made to the template have been made actually to the template and not to the images. So what that actually means now, if I take a different image this time, let's say we drag this up onto the background, which is a colour image, it automatically remembers that it's been desaturated and it's a black and white. So I'm just going to drag some other images in so you see. I'm not going to populate all of these, just a couple so you can see. So we've dropped the image in, it's made it a black and white, but even now this is still editable. And what I mean by that is that if I decided I didn't want this one to be a black and white, I just can select it, make it take the black and white, switch the black and white off, so it makes it back to a colour, and I can also still increase the opacity. And again, I can unlock all elements of the templates. So we've taken a Yervant template, we've kind of changed it, saved it as a brand new template, and again it's still editable when we come to use it in the future, which is pretty cool. So I'm going to go back to templates, back to Yervant, and just kind of give you some idea. If I scroll down halfway down here, you can see there's some pretty crazy templates to choose from. But you know, all the work's been done, the alignments are all aligned, and I'm pretty sure that you're going to find something that you like, and if not, it's easy to edit it and save it as a brand new template. So that's it for the Yervant templates. It's as simple as that. I hope you have plenty of fun with them. Very easy to use, and hopefully it will quicken your workflow. Enjoy.